Good morning, Joe Deary, Powerful Improvements, Putnam, Connecticut. It is Tuesday morning. I'm out here getting my rig all set up. I got a couple quick washes I'm trying to take care of today before this hurricane comes up the coast. Let's see, it's about 7:30 in the morning. Trying to get 2 projects knocked out, hopefully by just after lunchtime, which looks like should be hitting us right about then. So what I'm doing today is I have a metal building that's a little bit remote to wash, just one side of it, and the guy has no water. So I'm filling up my 100-gallon tank, almost full. Gonna get about 110 into that. And then I've got my buffer tank in the back, which I'm gonna bypass my Hudson valve, fill that with a hose after and get, full 35, 40 gallons in there. And then I'm gonna be 12 volting the building, because that'll save me some water also. So all the water I'm carrying is gonna be for the rinse. And I'm currently filling this bucket, topping this off with water. I'm gonna wind up with about a 3% mix in here with about 128 gallons of LA Awesome soap, all right? And that's gonna work for my building wash. Running it kind of hot. There's a lot of algae on the side of this building. I'll show you when I get there. I'm using this little tiny landscape trailer. This thing was my rig last year, minus the tank. We didn't have the tank in there, but I was humping everything into the back of this, my 2.5 gallon per minute, all my hoses. I put the ladder across the top, strapped it down, and it was a nice little rig for me. I was pulling it with my minivan, and we did a lot of work with that trailer last year. And unfortunately, I still have to, carry water once in a while, but that's my option. I don't really want to carry that tank constantly in the truck. I may do some rearranging next year to see if that's going to fit. I may add a proportioner, which would eliminate that batch mix tank, but I'm really not sure which way I want to go. So thinking about a couple different things, but that's what we got going so far this morning. It's about 90% humidity out here. It's about 85 degrees already, so sticky, sweaty morning. But we're gonna get things fired up and I'll catch you guys on the job. All right, we're all set up on this job out here. I got my sign out on the street. It's a pretty busy street with a busy intersection down here to the other side of me. So that's good. And I thought this building was metal. I haven't been out here for a while. It's actually vinyl siding, so that's gonna make my life much, much easier. And we've got some pretty heavy, we got a puppy that's gonna watch us out the window. He's a nice dog, he doesn't bark. He's a good boy. But we got some pretty heavy algae on the bottom, plenty of snail tracks, and that's gonna melt right off with my 3% mix. Much hotter than I need, but I don't feel like being here very long, and we're gonna use it up. So here we go. So right there is my test hit. Looks like that's gonna work. Freaking melted it instant. So I'm gonna start down this end, work my way all across the front, doing that little office L, and that's it. So should go pretty quick. And then I'm all stretched out over here. And when I came to look around this other side to see maybe if I would throw that in for the guy, this side of the building is metal. So I guess I didn't have a complete brain fade, but this side and the whole back and the other end is all metal. So the only vinyl I have here is the front, and there's nothing on this side worth washing. So here we go. We're 12 volting with the Gilmore today. I like the Gilmore quite a bit because I can do the fan, and I find that the fan saves me a lot of chemical versus doing a heavy J-rod hit. So I use the Gilmore a lot. I also use the J-rod a lot. I tend to use the J-rod more on the roof washing, and if I'm ever doing a house wash with a 12 volt, I tend to like the Gilmore because I can cruise right along and spray the low parts and beam the high parts without taking any time to swap anything. The other thing I like about the Gilmore is that transition of fan to straight nozzle. I don't have to be handling any nozzles, because inevitably in making that switch between nozzles, you get chemical all over your hands. Yeah, I know. I should be wearing gloves. I don't. Sometimes I do. Very rarely though. It's just an inconvenience, especially when it's hot or whatever. As things cool off a little bit, if I'm doing gutters, I wear gloves all the time. But my normal washing. Honestly, don't wear gloves. I know I need to step up the PPE a little bit. I'm trying to be better about wearing my mask when it makes sense, if I can smell the chemical. If I'm doing a patio wash or a roof wash, I'm trying to throw the mask on, promote my health a little bit. I'm gonna have to have him close this garage door over here before I get any closer to that edge. All right, but that's it. So that was what? I don't know, a minute's worth of walking down the building. And you can tell I got that mixed right, and it's very hot because that algae's gone. It's all turned white and it's dying. And I'm gonna be doing an X-Jet rinse here. That's gonna come out beautiful. It's so humid today that I'm going to soak this entire thing before I dry it. Before I rinse it. And that's also gonna save me a lot of time. So, I don't know. I'm guessing I'm gonna be here maybe another 30 minutes. It is 8 a.m. Nice gentle X-Jet rinse. And everything is gone. We're done. Came out beautiful. All that nasty snail track is gone. The siding came out perfect. Very happy with the result. And my rinse, I wound up having to tap into my big tank for the last 10 gallons. So I'm glad I brought this, a little more than I needed, but luckily we had it. Buffer tank's completely empty, and we'll fill that up on the next job. All right, so now I'm heading over to do a gutter cleaning, house wash, and some concrete, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Okay, 8:40, I'm done, wrapped up in the truck, leaving this job. This guy runs an auto dealership and upholstery shop, and he owns several multifamily properties in town. So just took about 10 minutes talking with him, and he's gonna sign me up for a couple more projects, and he wants me to come and wash the roof at his house. So talk about all the time. You want to market, talk to your people. That's how you do it. Also, he's leaving a sign for me right there indefinitely. And this is a very busy road in our area. Busy intersection up the road there with a car dealership. So a lot of people fly by here. But we'll catch you on the next one.
Good morning. How can I help you?
Can I get an oatmeal and an orange juice, please?
Sure. There you go.
That's it.
74.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm out here set up on job number 2. I got this raised ranch here to wash, doing gutters, cleaning up this stonework. There's a stone walk over there. This is vinyl siding that is set up to look like shake siding. It's pretty dirty when you get up close. Stuff is nice to wash. Doesn't show any streaks because of the texture. Usually hides things a little bit if you have a streak or two or a watermark. We're still gonna rinse it very thoroughly, but this is gonna go pretty fast. Got a window there that's been taped, air conditioner over here, and we're basically set up. I got my ladder on this gutter, and I'm gonna work my way across the front of the house. Gutters in the back, there's a little L in the back, and then I'm gonna come up this side with my ladder lowered under the power line. That way I'm gonna go all the way around, drop the ladder, come under the power line, put it back on my truck, okay? I think that's probably the most efficient way for me to handle the ladder. I've got my high pressure power wash line pulled. There's about 150 feet. That gold Simpson line right there is my leader hose, first hose on the reel. That's a 50 foot. Then I got 50 foot of black hose, and then I have my big 100 foot of gray hose right about there where the car is. And I'm starting on the back corner of the house. And I'm gonna wrap around the back, do this side, do the front, and end here on the grass. So again, I can reel up back to the truck very easily. Client's not home. Unfortunately, that car is in the worst spot. My understanding is the car doesn't run. It's sitting on kind of flat tires, and I'm gonna be washing this walkway, and unfortunately everything's gonna get blown that way onto that car. So I'll be washing that car when I'm done. Over here on the rig, a couple people asked me about water inlet. Okay, so I've got my water coming in on this reel. Okay, we're gonna lock that in position. That goes down here to the splitter for me. Okay, I've got a little guard, like washing machine hose in here. I would like to put something in there that's a little larger diameter, but this works. I don't have any trouble. Okay, and I've got this 4-way splitter to put water different places. The red one on the bottom goes to my buffer tank, which we do have a Hudson float valve in. You can see it back there. It's attached. So that red hose there, I'm going to turn that on. All right, now we get that tank filling up because it's empty from the last job. This black hose right here goes up to my batch tank in the back, and I've got that kind of secured in the top. I've got the other inlet in the top, in the back, is where that hose goes down a couple feet into that tank. And I put that in there. Sometimes I'll turn this on for just a minute to agitate that tank also, to stir things up a little bit. And then of course this is my SH tank. This green one right here acts as a washing station for me. I've got this green hose up in here, which does different things, and we pull that over the side, and that's how I wash up at the end of the job. And then this fourth one is just open at the moment. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. At some point I think I'm going to run a hose up here to my rack, and I'm going to come back here and do like a pull chain shower, like one of those emergency showers right here. In the summertime I could stand here and take a shower. Might be kind of cool. So while that tank is filling up, it's almost half full, I'm going to start doing my gutters, and then we're going to wash. Okay, gutter work is done. Big ladder back on the rig, all strapped down. I've got about 6.5 gallons of house wash left in my downstreaming tank from last week. I haven't washed since Friday, so that's 4 days old. Stirred it up a little bit, haven't added anything to it. Hopefully it's going to work good for me. I got my soap valve turned on the top, hooked to my downstreamer, which has been soaking for the last 4 days. Hopefully that's going to work for me correctly. And we're ready to wash. Full buffer tank. Here we go. All right, so I got the J-rod hooked up. I'm going to spray here for a sec, wait for it to transition to soap. A few more seconds, I should be getting some soap out of this. There it goes. Okay, and this is just dirt on here for now. Rinse that off a bit. And we're going to start bottom to top. I'm on the back side of the house, and we're going to work our way back to the front. Okay, my son, my middle son, likes to say, if it smells like the YMCA, you got your mix right. So what he means by that is if you can smell the chlorine or smell the bleach, you know you got it right. If you can't smell it, you're probably a hair weak. And I can smell it, so I know I'm hopefully shooting that 1% that I like to shoot. So I'm going to jump back in here and get some more work done with 2 hands. I'll be back on the camera in a few. Okay, I soaped 2 sides. This whole back section and the end by the driveway over here is all soaped up. It's so humid today that I'm not worried about drying too fast. And now I've switched over to my X-Jet to rinse. I'm using the 4 gallon per minute machine, and with low pressure J-rod I draw soap. And then when I switch over to my X-Jet, which is high pressure, to rinse, I don't draw soap. And that saves me from walking back and forth to the truck. So now I can rinse this whole side with no running around. That's the way I like to do it. So that's what we're doing now, is X-Jet rinse. I'm gonna go up on that balcony in a minute, and I'm gonna adjust the fan here as soon as I have 2 hands, and fan rinse this low side. Be back with you guys in a few. Okay, now we're on the front side, and you guys, I want you to see, because you keep asking me, yes, we are pre-wetting the vegetation. I've still got the X-Jet rinse going, so before I switch over to soap, I'm getting all these plants a little wet. Not spending a lot of time. I don't usually burn anything, but I am going to get a quick layer of moisture on these. And then I'm going to spray it with house wash, avoiding the plants. Not trying to get a lot on these plants. Okay? And then I'm going to be rinsing here within just a few minutes, so no issues. But that's how you do it. Get your plants wet real quick. Okay, I'm not dumping a lot of this on the ground. I'm not going to kill the root system, but do take a minute and get a little bit of water on there. Now I'll switch over to soap, soap this whole side, switch back to rinse the plants first, then start rinsing the house. Okay, I'm back over here at the point where I started. This is where I'm ending on this fourth corner. I just want to show you guys where my house wash bled over the corner a little bit. You can see how perfectly well that works and how dirty this is. And this is why we hate to wash when we go to a house. We hate to only wash one side because you can't potentially feather it in. You will leave clean streaks, which normally will lead you to a whole house wash, so I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys how well that's working. And I'm on the fourth side now. We're gonna soap this, and then we're gonna go back and rinse the front, and come back and rinse over here, and then get on the concrete. All right, now I'm giving this concrete and these stairs, this walkway, paver caps, a quick 1% house wash pre-treat. I'm gonna be coming back here in a minute and turbo nozzling all of this. Unfortunately, I gotta push towards this car over here, which is gonna get covered with stuff. But what are you gonna do? Yes, I'm gonna rinse these plants in a minute. You guys that are all nervous about having a little house wash on a plant. There's no sun today. It's wicked humid. I'm not gonna have any issues. I'm not gonna kill anything, except what I wanna kill. All right, one-handed is not always the most convenient thing to do, but for the sake of content, that's what we're doing. Move my hose. All right, and hit the front of these. Okay, pushing away from the lawn, away from the plants. These plants have all been mowed for the season. She's done with them. All right, and that's it. Now we're gonna switch over to rinsing. All right, time to hit the concrete with the turbo nozzle. Throwing on my rubber boots in an attempt to stay somewhat clean. Get these right at Tractor Supply. They're nice and lined inside. They're thin, lightweight. They got a nice gummy bottom. I use them on the roof a lot too because I like that they're a little bit tacky, and they're like $15 each. You go through a pair or two per season. I used a pair all last year and they just finally ripped, so happy with them. Tractor Supply, $15. Okay, project complete. Gutters, house wash, concrete, retaining wall, walkways. Rig is all set, ready to go. Hoses reeled up, ladders put away, etc. This front walk came out real good. I'm pretty happy with it. Just gonna get a quick after picture, and our client will be real happy with that. So I'm on my way to my next job, and we'll catch you guys in a little bit. Oh yeah, sign in the yard. Don't forget. All right, I'm set up on job number 3. It's about to rain. I got maybe an hour left before the hurricane hits me, and nothing too crazy is gonna happen here. We're just gonna get a little rain, some wind. The wind is definitely picked up. So I'm all pulled and ready to go. I've pulled all the way behind this house, and I'm starting on the end over there, and I'm gonna wrap around and of course end in the front yard so I can roll things up easily. This is gonna be a quick little easy project for me. All of the white that you see on this house is aluminum, and then of course we have some brick, and she's only requiring me to wash the aluminum siding, which has black mold on it, which is gonna come right off, so this should be fast and easy. And I've made myself a little bit of additional downstreaming mix. I got about 4 or 5 gallons in that downstreaming bucket right there with a nice dollop of LA Awesome soap, probably 4 or 5 ounces. And I got everything turned on and we're ready to go. I had to fill up my tank with gas. I ran out on the last job, which is unlike me, but now we're ready to go. So here we are. All right. So you hear the transition in the motor there. That tells me that I've made pressure. I'm gonna grab this loop on my line and head back this way. We're gonna get up into that eave right there. There's a lot of black around that star, which you can't really see that well from the distance, but again, aluminum siding. We're gonna go very easy on this. It's been painted. The paint is compromised in some areas. You see like right there. So again, low pressure. It's gonna be soft with the J-Rod fan. I should be able to J-Rod fan all of this, and then I'll be X-Jet rinsing with a fan very gently. All right, here comes the wind. My trees are turning over. That's always a sign of the rain to come. So we got to get through this as quickly as we can. This is probably the dirtiest spot back here. Okay, I don't know what you can see up in the eave, but there's a lot of dinge up underneath there. Now it's all going to come down, and then we've got that green spot. Okay, and then this gutter back here has got some black on it, and that's all going to come off. So I'm going to jump right in. I'll be back with some process video. So I'm wrapped all the way around. Truck's way over there. You can see I've wrapped all the way around the house, and this is my starting point. Okay, just getting my soap going here on the foundation before I get started. All right, and then this end turns out is the dirtiest end. Okay, and that's all gonna melt right off here for me in a minute. And then it's gonna let my soap, there it goes, okay? So I'm gonna be fanning all of this. I'm gonna try to work with the wind a little bit here so that I don't get bleach all over me. All right, and I'm expecting that's gonna melt right off of there real quick. I gotta work that wind. It's gonna be nasty, but try to race this storm a little bit. All right, you can see that's transitioning for me already. I'm gonna give that a nice good hit. Sorry for the janky camera. All right, now I'm gonna go do that back gutter, and we'll come back here and see how this looks. Okay, we're back. I haven't even rinsed, and it's all gone. So we're gonna hit the rinse real quick. Again, X-Jet with a fan, nice and easy, and half done already. All right, this job is done. This aluminum siding came out beautiful. No compromise of any paint anywhere. And I'm very happy. All the dinge up by that star. See if I can zoom in. Gone. Perfectly clean. And I showed you guys the other side, the other end as we were going. How good that came out. I wound up washing everything on this house. Just because. Simple enough. May as well do it. Elderly lady. Friend of the family. And came out fantastic. So what I wound up doing here was I used up the water that I've been hauling. I had 35 gallons in my buffer tank, so I used that, and I used most of the water, probably about 60 gallons or so, what was remaining in this tank, so I can have a little bit lighter ride home. And so consequently, my hose reel, garden hose, is all ready to go. And I've had a couple guys ask me to prove how quickly we roll these things up. So I've got 200 feet pulled of high pressure hose. You can see that, you know, as I told you guys, I start on that end, worked around the back, ended in the front, so all my hose is here, okay? Come back to the truck, unhook my gun, put it away, so the end is right there. So I'm gonna roll this up, and you guys can see that it goes pretty well. All right? I'm gonna use my nifty tripod, and there we go. There you go, and that's taking my sweet ass time with a sprained ankle. All right, nifty tripod, 4x4 block, and a little tiny ladder. So there we go, I'm out. I got a few things to do, and I'll be back with one little finisher. All right, so it's 1:30 in the afternoon. I just stopped at my favorite sandwich shop, one of my favorite sandwich shops, and got myself a grinder to take home. And I'm done for the day. Just wanted to go over a couple things. You guys keep asking me. I get a frequent question of, what are you doing to market yourself to get so many jobs? And there's not one secret silver bullet to that. You got to be doing a lot of different things, and you got to be doing it for a little while and let things come full circle for you, and it starts to gel over time. So the things that I do, when I very first started out last year, one of the first things I did was print out flyers for myself, and they were very simple. Doesn't have to have a lot of information. I think sometimes people overthink things and they make it too difficult for themselves and they wind up taking no action. You can simply put a flyer together that says house washing or power washing with your name and phone number, and that's it. That's all the information you need. You don't need a website. You don't need any other nonsense. And start handing these things out. I went door to door last year in some nice neighborhoods, and I got about a 10% return on my flyers. If I put out 10 flyers, I got about one house wash. And and then I have yard signs right away. I had yard signs made, and if I did a house wash, I put a yard sign out. And you wind up getting a few per neighborhood, okay? And then, you get those first washes, you want to be talking to your client and giving them at least 2 business cards and asking them to please refer me to somebody else if they get a chance. If you don't have business cards, you can simply make them. Go to Walmart. Excuse me, you can buy these simple business cards, make them on cardstock, cut them yourself. There's no excuse not to have business cards. You can go into Vistaprint and get business cards made. Extremely inexpensive. I highly recommend you do that if you don't have business cards. Get yourself some shirts made. Again, you can do this yourself. My first shirts, I went to Walmart, got some inexpensive orange shirts. They were like $3 or $4 each. And then I got iron-on transfers, and I had my logo. I made it myself in Photoshop. Had the luxury of having that, Photoshop. But if not, I'm sure you can find someone who can help you with the logo. And I printed out some iron-ons, and I only had 2 or 3 shirts to start with, and I wore them on every job and started to brand myself. So you got your business card, you got your yard sign, you got your t-shirt. You're showing up at the job looking as professional as you can to start with. Okay, and then, if you've got a vehicle, try to letter your vehicle. That makes a huge difference. People see you out there. I get jobs all the time because of the vehicle. I pull into gas stations. People come up, what are you doing? They want to check out the equipment. They've never seen it before. And you talk to people, explain to them what you're doing, explain the equipment to them, and that's going to earn you some business there, okay? I created a Facebook page. That's free. Easy to create a Facebook page. Start posting your before and afters. Share your post to all the mom groups. You hear people say that. What their meaning is like these yard sale groups and stuff like that. The town groups. Start sharing your stuff. The more dramatic pictures you can post, the better. Okay, and you start to gain a little traction in a community that way. People see your posts. I don't do a lot of paid posting on Facebook. I do get some work from that when I do it, but I just don't do a lot of it and get enough work the way I'm doing it. It doesn't cost me anything. Also, I have an Instagram page. Don't get a lot there, but I do post there, and I do use Instagram to create my before and afters. There's a layout tool in Instagram where you can put pictures side by side, so I'll do that. And then it saves to my camera, and then I repost it on Facebook and use it on other mediums. I advertise in my local paper. We have like a bargain buyer paper that comes out every week that advertises, yard sales, local businesses. Most of the contractors post in it. I post in that usually every week. That goes to 30,000 homes, and I usually get 1, 2, 3 deals per week from that. And that's been a good thing for me to do. So I'll continue to do that. But word of mouth, happy customers is always going to be the best thing. I talk about that with your marketing. The best money you can spend in marketing when you're first getting started, you don't have a lot of money, you have a lot of time. Use your time on the job. Do something extra for your clients. You've got plenty of time. You don't need to rush through your jobs. Try to do them as fast as you can, unless you've got so many per day that you can't get it done. which most of us don't have. So you got an extra half an hour, 20 minutes, or whatever it takes to do something extra on the job that costs you nothing except time, and that's what earns you referrals, and you're doing a better job than the guy down the road or whatever, and you're leaving the client happy, and then they're going to refer you and call you back. That's the best investment you can make starting out, is good use of your time. Throw the clients a little extra, do a good job, don't rush, don't look frazzled on your jobs, take your time, develop your method, and just work through it. So that's my marketing advice. You know, there's really not a silver bullet. I'm not like, everyone's like, what are you doing? It's not just one particular thing. Okay, I've been doing this for about 17, 18 months now, so not a long time in the game. I know a lot of people. I'm 51 years old. I've been living in the same area for a long time, so I have that going for me. I got a pretty deep network of people that know me, and I just make sure that I tell everybody what I'm doing all the time. And word gets around, and you start to gain traction. Okay, it takes a little while. You're not just going to jump in the business and day one have 4 or 5 jobs a day. Okay, it is slowing down a little bit right now. People are going back to school, getting ready about that. People are on vacation. So, you know, I'm a little bit slower right now. I'm not working 6 days a week like I was a month ago. I'm trying to dumb it down to 3-4 days a week, but filling those days. So I'm grouping my jobs so I can enjoy some time with my family, take a little break, recoup, and then as we come into the fall, gutter cleaning is going to take off for me, and power wash is going to take a little back seat, and I'm going to be cleaning gutters until it snows and we can't. All right, so that's basically it. You guys that haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, please do so. Try to put up some daily content, or at least a few days per week. There's a lot of great information in my videos. If you're just getting into the business, go back through some of my other videos, and there's all sorts of good stuff in there, tips and tricks and the way I'm doing things. But thank you all for liking and subscribing. We just hit 1,500 subscribers. Again, it just blows my mind. I can't believe it. Started in mid-February and the channel has exploded. So I'm gonna keep it going. So long as I'm getting good feedback from everybody, I'm having a great time doing it. You guys, have a great day.